Right, so now that we've talked about organizing our data into tables, now we're going to start and we're going to look at some different graphs. Right, so the first type of graph that we are going to look at is going to be a dot plot. In a dot plot, we record data values on a number line by placing a dot where each value occurs. We get a sense of frequency by how high the dots stack vertically. Again, we have instructions for StatCrunch in here. Again, look for an additional resource online in D2L to help you with the instructions for StatCrunch, give you kind of something more step by step. All right, so we're going to keep looking at this example of our soccer players. Right, so we have our raw data set that we were given. We know that there's 28 people from the last couple of examples that we went through. And we went through and we figured out some different things for frequency and relative frequencies, both for individual data values and our bins. What we have here for our dot plot is each single dot represents a different person, represents a different data value. Right, so there's one person that had 9 goals, right there. We have 4 people that have 11 goals. Those are those 4 dots stacked vertically there. Right, so we get an idea of our frequency by how high these different columns go, I guess. So when we're looking at these, each different little stack, how high it is indicates how many different players had that many goals. So our first question, question A, how many players had 20 or more goals? So we're not going to look at this information here. We're just going to simply use our dot plot because some of the questions that you're going to be asked in your homework are going to be asked to have you interpret these, and you might not have the raw data set. You might just be given a picture. So just using our picture, how many people had 20 or more goals? Where we have 2 dots above 20, so there's 1, 2, then we have 3, and then we have 4. So 4 players total had 20 or more goals. Right, what percent of players had 20 or more goals? Remember from the previous chapter, right? Percent equals part divided by whole. Same way we've been finding our relative frequencies. Right, so we're going to take 4 divided by 28, which gives us 0.1429, which then in this case we're asked for a percent, so we're going to switch this over to a percent, round it to 1 decimal value, we get 14.3%. And then C, are there any unusually high or low scoring players? Well, looking at this, right, notice that we have one value that's all by itself, right? So pretty easily from the graph, we can almost as easily, because these are organized in order for our data values to be up here. But looking at this really easily, we can pick out that there is one unusually high value. So we're going to say, are there any unusually high or low scoring players? Yes. We have one high value of 35 goals. So in this particular case, we were given a dot plot, and then we use that to answer some different questions.